Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our regular meeting of the Commission of December 12th. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:10 p.m. Invocation, can everybody stand? And Commissioner Duggins, would you lead us, please?
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening and we ask that you heal those that are sick, that you comfort those who need comforting, that you be with our leaders across the globe, that peace and prosperity may come across the land and the end of violence. We ask you to be with the homeless, and we ask you to be with this commission as we go through the night making some decisions, and all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Go to Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the United States and be a symbol for Christians of the United States.
Roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Aguilar, Vice Chair Secretary, Commissioner Duggins,
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Here.
and Chair Martinez.
Present, ma'am. Item 6, approval of agenda. Commissioners, you've had a chance to see the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez to approve, second by Commissioner Duggins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Item 7, approval of minutes on November 28, 2023. You have a chance to review my packet?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins to approve, second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The November 28, 2023 minutes are approved. Thank you, sir, for doing it.
Thank you.
Item 9, acknowledge department reports. Road Department. The Road Department Supervisor is here, so if he has any comments, he has his report, but
Finished up on, good evening, Commissioner. We finished up today up at Upcannon. We did all the riprap and we installed those culverts, the one going across the road and the one that goes into that stream. And that's all we're waiting for is the 15-inch culverts to come in so we can put them on for Mr. Gray. And we're pretty much cut up on our grading. Gonna have the guys go out and clean some calibars sometime next week. So if you guys have any questions.
any questions from Mr. Gonzalez? Art and Mike, on those 15-inch culverts, was Dennis in engineering good with it?
That's the engineers called for 15 inches after we all talked about it, and then Mr. Berner looked it up, and that's what it calls for, 15 inches.
Okay. On the
If we
rock,
go, I'm sorry,
go ahead,
Sure.
sorry.
if we go bigger, then we'll dig a
Yeah.
lower gully and make it meet the engineer's specifications.
On the rock, did we have any left over?
No, we used it all up.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
Good. Well, on behalf of the commission, thank you and thank the crew. There's a lot of work, especially the rock, placing it in those ditches.
I'll make sure that you guys told us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 2, Socorro County Extension Office.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So myself and Jamie are here to give you our first quarterly report. First of all, I'd like to give you all an update based on the funding that was extended to us and our ability to add our new agent position. We were able to extend an offer and it was accepted by Ms. Fassett today, actually. So she, as of today, has started with us as a full-time 4-H agent. And we're very excited to have her on board. And I think that she'll really move us in a positive direction. She has a lot of experience and connections throughout the community that will ultimately benefit our kiddos. So that's an update there. We finally got through with that. In the report on the first section that I have for you is an overview of our agriculture program. So this report covered basically September through to December 1st is how I wrote it out. And so there's not as much going on in the agricultural section in the fall due to a lot of time being taken up with fairs and those 4-H activities. They're pretty time consuming. But we were able to offer our annual pesticide program last week. It was really well attended. We had 31 individuals come and get CEUs to renew their pesticide license. And so that's been growing and I'm very excited to see that. And it seems to be a pretty well needed and well received program that we'll continue to do annually. I didn't start that. It's been a tradition that the extension office has done for many years. And so it's growing and doing well. And I will keep continuing along with our pesticide applicators program and ensuring individuals get the CEUs they need every year. We were able to assist 52 individuals with agricultural related questions this quarter. And I was able to make 2 clientele home visits to assess trees and assist a producer with soil sampling. This is a lower number than you'll see later on in the year. It fluctuates seasonally a lot on the ag side of things. Of course, come springtime, we get many more phone calls than we do fall and winter time. So that's about normal for us. Moving on into our 4-H program, I have fair recaps for you. So our fairs were very successful this year. The Fair Board worked really, really hard and I'm very proud of them for putting together a pretty cool facility out there. I'm not sure if anybody's been out there to see it, but they built a new addition onto the barn and they built all new pens or purchased new pens to put in to accommodate our rising animal numbers. Our animal numbers have been raising steadily since 2020 and we basically outgrew what we had out there. And so they added 90 new pens for small livestock, hogs, sheep and goats. And we use every bit of those plus about 8 of the older ones that still remained. So we're still full and that's really exciting. So we had an increase. We had 289 livestock entries for the 2023 county fair, which is 50% increase from 2020 where there were 144 entries. So in 2023, our junior livestock sales sold 67 animals and we were able to raise a total of $275,554 for the kiddos that sold with junior livestock through the sale, and then that also includes add-ons for them. We had 73 indoor 4-H projects submitted for judging. Those that were first place winners, we took on to the state fair and the Southern New Mexico State Fair. And when we take those indoor projects on, they're displayed. The kids get ribbons. It's pretty cool. All the people get to see them. At Southern, they actually win premium money in the indoor side of things. That's kind of a neat thing that the Southern State Fair supports. And so those kiddos were able to earn a total among all of them of $215 in premium monies for the indoor entries that they did. And so they're always really excited for that. We had 11 kids who took livestock exhibits to the state fair. We had 1 steer and 1 pig in the sale at the state fair. And then for Southern, we had quite a few kids take animals and we had 4 total into the sale at the Southern New Mexico State Fair. So our fairs were a success. We've had increased participation and kids doing really well and representing the county well when they move on to the next fairs. So currently we are in our what we call re-enrollment period. So the 4-H year runs October to September. So the new 4-H year started October 1st. So kids who have already been in 4-H are working on re-enrolling and that will close on January 5th. New families can enroll anytime throughout the year, but this is kind of a big window that we have new people coming in. And so as of December 1st, we had 14 new kids from 8 different families who are brand new to the 4-H program. We traveled up to Vegeta last month and we had a 4-H info session at the Bocc Mesa school. And we were excited to garner 4 new families from up there, which is, we haven't had hardly any youth participation from Bocc Mesa outside of the Boys and Girls Ranch. And so I'm really excited to have some new kids coming in, and hopefully we'll be able to get a club started for them up there sooner rather than later, so that they have not having to travel so far to Sapporo and they're able to participate. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jamie for our next section.
Hello. Emily and I have had a really unique opportunity. Starting in August, we jumped on an idea, and it's aquaponics. And we have 4 aquaponics systems in schools right now. Middle school, the 8th grade, Magdalena, 4th grade, and at Cottonwood in the resource room for students with IEPs. Really interesting. We're learning a whole lot, but we're reaching a lot of students. We're teaching things like nitrogen cycle, connections to agriculture. There's been some business lessons even. So we're excited about that. Also pushing in, taking some 4-H projects, been to San Antonio and teaching sewing, and the kids absolutely loved it. Just something as simple as puppets, and they ask us back, looking at maybe even an after school program of some of those home ec type skills that unfortunately as teachers, they've just been left under, and the kids loved it. Trying to think. And then the other thing that I wanted to highlight out of this report is we've had an opportunity to work with Cottonwood Student Council. They've invited us in to do some leadership development stuff, and in about a month, but our 4-H council team went in and taught 60 of their students all about parliamentary procedure. And just watching kids or leaders teaching kids was amazing. So that's something that we're really excited to push more into the schools as they're reaching out for, especially social emotional learning and leadership development type stuff. I'm going to turn it back over. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the last little section I have here is our ICANN program. So this is our Ideas for Cooking and Nutrition. Miss Erica is our nutrition educator. And so she, in the last quarter, has been visiting 7 sites across the county and spent 70 hours teaching 560 participants. And so the reach total for ICANN, the cumulative reach for the year, has been 12,856 individuals. We have it's not ICANN specific, but I am excited. I've got a Kitchen Creations, which is a diabetes specific cooking class, teaching to individuals who have diabetes, scheduled in Alamo in May is looking like when we're going to go with that. And I'm working with our Kitchen Creations program, which is a statewide program through Extension, and also their dietitian that they have on staff. And so I'm really excited to get out there and start working with those folks. So all in all, from January to November, our extension office contact reach was 51,100. So with that, do you have any questions or things I can clarify?
Commissioners?
Just a thank you. Well done.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Okay, the next item is acknowledge manager's report. You see it in the packet. You want to add anything, Mike?
Thank you, Chair Martinez, Commissioners. I'll just, I believe Art just mentioned that we finished that phase in Hop Canyons, so it was finished before the holidays. we're on phase one in San Antonio Park. I have some pictures, but those are actually old. We've already poured the concrete, we've already installed the water pressure tank. It's because we're going to a fully automatic sprinkler system. Reducing the footprint, of course. That, what you see there is the starting of the foundation of the small pavilion that'll be there with the table and barbecue pit and stuff, trees and some other stuff, but we're gonna spend every penny that we can. Other than that, everything else is going as planned. We're moving along with the other projects. We'll start, I think we ironed out an agreement with the Rio Grande Conservancy District that we'll be having the commission look at the next meeting for Commissioner Duggan's district program to get that underway. And I would like to say that remind everybody that we are still meeting on February 6th, 2023 in Santa Fe, the SWACA members, Sierra County, Captain and Socorro, to meet with our local legislators to not only get more familiar with them, but to introduce all the ideas and issues and opportunities that they have to assist our county. I'm sorry, it's 24th, it says the 23rd. Yeah, that always happened last year, or this year. It's the 24th, sorry about that.
Commissioners, any questions from the manager? Good. Good. Well, Mike, I've talked to a lot of people in San Antonio, and they are really excited about what's happening there at the park. They said finally it was cleaned up and it looks like something that can be used and an attraction for public to stop. So thanks to the commission and thank you for getting it done. And only, they asked what else we're gonna do there, and I said, well, depends on money. Little by little, they can add more to it. The beginning is the hard part. I think little by little, turn into something good. Again, thank you. Next is acknowledge December birthdays. I don't have to.
I'll do it if you want. Rosemary Rosas, Clerk's Office, December 3rd. Tonya Mosier, Detention Center, December 8th. Ignacio Chavez, Sheriff's Department, December 13th. Vanessa Munoz, Manager's Office, December 17th. Rosella Apachito, Detention Center, December 17th. Marty Salas, Road Department, December 18th. Valentin Soto Paz, Detention Center, December 19th. Embro Apache, Detention Center, December 23rd. Crystal Recuejo, DWI, December 28th. Albie Taylor, Maintenance Department, December 30th. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to those employees. Thank you, Commissioner. And before we move on, Mike, on your report also, you're showing the commission of how much has been donated for our employee manual. And I just want the public to know that you're tracking everything.
If I could digress, let me see if I can bring that up.
Yeah. So it's someone there.
Was it up? Was it on there?
Yeah. It's right after your pictures.
Right after the pictures. Let me scroll. So it's over 30,000 so far by the generous community members of Socorro County.
Yes.
Here's some more photos of San Antonio, actually. That's the newer ones.
Okay, Item D, acknowledge commissioners report. Commissioner Gonzalez, anything?
No, just, what did you call it? How do you define the money? The commissioner's money? You just said.
District project.
District project, yeah. I just been working with the city doing some, street improvements in my district, and I'm looking at, see how we can assist them to make them a better or expand upon the project, so we're bringing that for consideration.
Commissioner Duggins?
This is the last meeting before Christmas, and I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and health and prosperity. Peace to all of you. I went recently, about 9 o'clock at night. I was in Albuquerque twice the last couple of weeks, and I couldn't believe what that city and what we have become. It was, it just was like in the movies. There was fires on the street and people on the street and smoky and dark and just looked very unsafe. And I've said it before, government can do some things, but they don't. Government just does not make good babysitters, and we just, I think it's the people that will have to turn this around, and we just can't remain indifferent to each other. And through this Christmas season, let us not forget the gift that was given to us and the gift of giving going forward. And I mean, we can teach our kids to help one another, help maybe an elderly person, maybe buy groceries for them, wash their car, such as that. It would be a good thing. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner Duggins. Commissioner Secretary?
I don't have anything at this point, sir.
For myself, we had a meeting here last week, the CLL. I'm in that committee, where it's a committee that's helping ranchers get compensated for wolf kill. Right now, we have some funding, and we're going to the legislature for some extra funding. Hopefully we'll get that. It looks good that we'll get it. The website is up and running on how to get in there, how to get the forms. It tells you all the details of what the CLL is, the directors that are on that. I'm excited about it because finally, we've already compensated some of the ranchers already with some money. And what we're asking, we will ask for $1 million, and then some of the legislators told us to ask for $3 million a year for the next 3 years, for $9 million. So if we get that, it'll be pretty good. Then I also attended a meeting in Lordsburg, and they're trying to buy the National Guard Armory. They're in Santa Clara to turn that into a technical educational program. They see the same thing that we see here, the unemployment, employees, not employees, but the youth that don't have the critical skills to be able to get a job as a plumber, as a carpenter, as an electrician. And they're putting that together in order to send some of those kids to that. I think it's a good thing. I really do. And I brought the letters to pass it to the commission. They're asking a support letter from us, the Socorro County, to help them because they're going to the legislature also to get that. Everybody knows TLC, the plumbing company. That company, the president of that, they started something like that. They hire kids from high school. They train them how to plumb, refrigeration, whatever they need. And it's been very successful. Some of those kids are now running their own companies. And I give credit to Dale Armstrong for doing that because he's helped a lot of kids from Socorro, Magdalena, Quemado, that have gotten jobs that would have never had that opportunity. So that's somebody that's helping and doing something. And tomorrow I have to go to a meeting in Albuquerque with a coalition of Arizona and New Mexico counties for economic stable extension. It's a good committee to be on. And I'm gonna term out this year. At the end of this year, I'll be terming out. So I encourage the commissioners that stay behind to get on these committees because some of them have helped a lot, you know.
In 24.
Yeah, 24. But I always send the invites to the manager, and if you guys ever want to go to one so you can see what they do, it'd be worth it, I think. Give you an idea.
Mr. Chairman, is it appropriate? Can I ask a question about the wolf thing you were talking about? If the answer is no, that's fine.
Okay, what do you think?
To you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Donna Harris, and I have a small ranch on the east side of the river. I understand that the wolves are already as far as Fort Craig. So if they're not across the river yet, they will be soon. What, do you know what the policies are about shooting wolves on private property?
I don't think you can shoot them.
I'm sure you can't shoot them on BLM. Can you shoot them if they're in your yard or no? Do you know? Or do we not know?
I can't answer that.
Okay,
I can tell you, you can only shoot them if they are attacking yourself, your livestock, or your pets.
okay, good enough. Thank you.
If you have an email address, if you can provide it, I'll send you the information. And we got some key people on the committee that can answer any question you need from the Department of Game officials.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Mike?
Yes, we do. We have Donna Harris for public comment. Donna? Was that?
Oh, let me read this, Donna. Let me read this so people know. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. The County Commission is not able to take action on matters discussed during public comment. Speakers are requested to state their name for the record. Who's first?
Donna Harris is first.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can't tell if this is working. Do I need to stand closer, further away? What's the deal here?
It's working. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, it rattles in my ear, so I can't tell you. I realize that I've only been here for about 45 years, and that makes me kind of a newcomer and an outsider. I understand that. I appreciate how we all recited the Pledge of Allegiance. But do any of us remember what it means? Back in 1776, the people of the United States decided they had a hierarchy problem, and the problem was the king in England. Remember the clause, no taxation without representation? And of course, the gun confiscation was the last straw that set off the Revolutionary War. The United States people are not going to have a monarchy. In other words, we don't have a king. We don't have a ruler. The people govern themselves. That is why we are known as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The taxpayers are the authority. You guys are all elected by us. You work for us. You hire people to do other things. You all work for me and the 18,000 taxpayers standing behind me here in Socorro County. We don't work for you. We are not supplicants. We don't come begging and asking for permission. Commissioners are accountable to the voters. We sponsored you. You don't have to sponsor us. I've been trying to get on the agenda for about 4 or 5 months now. Every time I come to the manager's office, they have another reason why I can't be on the agenda. I don't know who instituted this rule. May not be the current administration, but it's continuing. You work for us. We don't work for you. You serve at our pleasure. This is a republic. This is not a monarchy. It belongs to the people. Office personnel, at the manager's office who are funded by our tax dollars sit behind locked doors, one-way windows, and intercoms in our building and dictate to us. They make up hoops and blocks and red tape, all the while doing everything they can to keep us off the agenda. I don't know why the taxpayers are funding people who have misleading and incorrect information on the website, who lied to me and told me they didn't have public comment, and then tell me that I should just be quiet and calm down. I don't think so. You have no right or excuse to treat me or any taxpayer like that. You work for us. You don't own us. This county has a small population. There's no reason to treat this like there are 500,000 people jumping up and down and wanting to be on the agenda every week. I refuse to be cowed or intimidated by the antagonistic action instigated by the occupants of the manager's office. I will not come begging. This is the United States Commissioners. You have the power and the responsibility to cure this. This has been going on for a long time. However, having been unsuccessful for all these months to get my agenda request submitted, I'm going to submit it right now.
Do I give it to you or her?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Who's next?
Al Sandoval.
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening, Al.
Commissioners, how are you guys doing today?
Real good, Al. And you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good.
At our last commissioners meeting, I represented the zoning commission, Beta zoning commission, and I brought forth some comments about how our commission, the Beta Special Zoning District Commission and the county commission could match, could work better to strengthen and improve Socorro County. And at that meeting, I think, Mr. Chairman, you asked the manager to present his thoughts to you for this meeting. Is that still going to happen?
Unfortunately, I came down ill, and that's on my desk, but some of the other things also had to coordinate with the attorney. So while I was ill, and back and forth, the target is by the next meeting, if I don't fall ill again.
Which is in January, right?
Yes.
I'm going to ask for a courtesy copy. As you send it to the commission, you'd send it to our commission as well. So we can, have a heads up.
It's up to the board.
Commission.
It's common.
Say again, what's up to the board manager?
If you would like to send a correspondence from me to you on issues, to send a courtesy copy to an outside entity, or send it to you and review it and then decide if a courtesy copy should be issued.
But this is common.
It's totally your call. I'm just trying to make sure we're following protocol.
Okay,
Should,
If I may, I know Mike's been out for a period of time, so I think my suggestion is like get Mike back on his feet and then proceed from there. So that should take us at least 25 days to get all the ducks in a row.
okay. And Mr. Chairman, this is public comment. I mean, if you want to be on the agenda to discuss back and forth, that would be at a later date. Would that not be right, Attorney Nance? I mean, we apply the same rules to everybody.
Sure.
If it's a back and forth,
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be, okay?
well, it already is.
Oh, wow.
So we need to be, you need to be on the agenda to have a back and forth conversation.
Sure, I'd be glad with that. For those of you commissioners that weren't here the last time, I do have copies of what I presented. So I can hand those out now if you'd like. So, that all right with you, Adrian?
It's up to the board.
All right, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, I think it's all right because they gave us, we didn't keep copies and that way they can see it. I have one. So I have one.
Yeah.
You want to?
Yeah.
No. Sure. So I'd be glad to attend the next meeting. Absolutely. Do I have to submit a application or a agenda request? This is your agenda, so I'm just here to be there.
Yes, it would be, submit a request to be on the agenda.
For the next meeting, which is in January.
Go ahead, Mike.
I believe he's implying that if I'm able to get all of his answers, then he wants to be on the next agenda. So I won't know.
Do you want to, upon his time to get his work done, then contact? And
It's 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Again?
5 minutes.
Okay.
let Mike contact him when he gets his work done.
Now, if you don't mind, we'll have the manager contact you when he has all the information, and then we can request you to be on the agenda.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
You bet. By the way, since I won't see you for Christmas, everybody here have a happy Christmas.
You too. Anybody else want to comment? Jennifer,
Was that?
anybody else?
No, that's all.
Yes, Commissioner.
If I could, I know this was only public comment by Ms. Harris, but we need to know who our commissioner is to order for rep. Donna, who's your commissioner? Glenn?
Is Let's see.
You ready? Move on. The next one is public hearing. For ordinance 2023-02, codifying the New Mexico Enabling Act. Have you guys seen that, commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I certainly can introduce it if you like.
Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, basically this is an ordinance that is a really somewhat of a position statement. And it states that the Socorro County Commission will not recognize nor enforce any state law, mandate, or order that violates or is contrary to the provisions of the Enabling Act for New Mexico. And it says the Socorro County Board of County Commissioners state that any law, mandate, or order issued by the government of the state of New Mexico or an agent thereof that is contrary to the Constitution of the United States is void and not enforceable within the boundaries of the county. Of course, the Enabling Act is the document, is the agreement, the compact that the territory of New Mexico had to sign with the United States government in order to become a state, and basically it said that we have to abide by the terms and conditions of the U.S. Constitution. It's basically placing it into saying that it is law also in Socorro County. And so this time, Mr. Chairman, I think it'd be appropriate to open it for public comment, and then the commission can clearly deliberate later on in the agenda when it's an action.
Does anyone have public comment on this ordinance? 2023-0245, the New Mexico Enabling Act. Here again, anybody?
So is this this existing ordinance that we're reviewing or?
This would be a new ordinance.
New ordinance. So why do we need a new ordinance? Explain it again. I thought when we became a state, enabling act was in place. Did I misunderstand you?
That you're not misunderstanding it. The state of New Mexico agreed to the Enabling Act, and this is requesting that the Board of County Commissioners make it a law in the county as well.
Hearing none, public comment. I need a motion to accept ordinance 2023-0245 and New Mexico Enabling Act.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, at this time, we just close the public hearing, and then it'll be on the agenda later on for vote.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's closed for public comment. Presentations, Western New Mexico Internet Service Provider.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for allowing us to come and present this in front of you. I guess first what we'd like to do is, formally let you know some exciting news for the county. So we were successful in being awarded a Reconnect grant through the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And we actually have a map showing the area here, if we can hand it out to you. This will allow us to provide some fiber services here in the county. The map outlines the area.
High level.
It's a high level map showing our control routes.
Coverage area.
It's a fairly large coverage area. It's a pretty big project. So it's basically going to go from kind of Limitar on the one side and then down to San Antonio. It's going to piggyback off of the fiber that we're putting in to serve the elementary schools on either side there. So it kind of goes along with our global plan to help the county of Socorro as far as broadband and internet coverage. So just kind of high level on the project itself, it's still pending environmental approval, so that's going to take a little while, but we're hoping that we'll be able to get environmental approval towards the end of 2024, so that we can kind of break ground and do that. Right now, we're in the process of doing the school fiber. So as I wrap this into a couple of updates, but the grant that we're talking about here through USDA, it's about 97 miles of fiber. Like I said, it's going to go from Limitar, Santa Acacia, down to San Antonio. About 2,100 homes will be covered in that map of that area. So that's, like I said, just kind of a high level of what that project is. So you can kind of see on the map there how far that covers. A couple of other updates that we also have for you concerning the school fiber that we're doing. That's 21 miles of fiber. And then also just kind of an update on the wireless tower that we talked about last time we were here. That is pending a permit from the city, and I believe that's on their agenda for the 20th, so next week, for that permit. And we actually have the tower sitting in the yard over here, just waiting to go up.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, these red lines, are they marks of the fiber?
That's the approximate fiber routes.
Is buried in the ground?
Right.
So, but that doesn't, so the ground within those marks are covered, the grounds outside of those marks are not covered?
That would be route fiber, so we would do drops off of those route fiber. It looks a little vacant because we're building off that school fiber that's going in first. So that high count fiber, then we'll be able to distribute off of those routes you see there on those roads to those homes right adjacent to it.
So you're gonna take fiber right into someone's home or business?
Yes.
Correct.
It won't be air?
No, it'll be about 95% buried fiber. So we'll have some areas where we go over the top of, some drainage areas and stuff like that. So there'll be about 5% that's aerial fiber.
Across waterways, so we avoid any kind of environmental impact with those.
Are you the people that are setting up out there at Bernardo? No?
That's Sunzia.
That's Sunzia.
You're in Magdalena, no?
Yes,
Yes, we are in Magdalena.
we're also building fiber in there.
And we've also already set up some of the fixed wireless. I know you mentioned some of the fixed wireless. So that's also the plan here with the tower that we were talking about. So we'll be able to kind of do both. So there'll be this area where the red lines are, that's going to be fiber to the home. But then we'll be able to extend that footprint also with the fixed wireless. So, and that's starting with the initial tower here. And then there's potentially some plans in the future at either end of this fiber development here to possibly extend further with some fixed wireless.
And you also, didn't you set a tower around the hospital somewhere? Or going
Across the road from the rodeo arena over there, the arena.
So that's the tower that we're waiting on the permit from the city for, that they'll be voting on the 20th.
And once that gets up and running, it'll have a 10-mile range?
Give or take, yeah.
Will somebody be able to hook onto that at that time? Or?
Once it's all.
Yeah, once we have the tower up, we'll place the equipment on it and we'll be able to, hopefully by the end of the first quarter, be able to have people connected.
Probably February.
Yeah.
February?
Yeah. It really depends on that permit from the city, so.
Yeah.
Can't put it up without that.
Yeah. The fiber is gonna take a little bit longer, so that the bigger project's gonna take.
So a person could, within that 10 miles, hook up to you wireless and then later hook up wire?
It won't reach that far. It's gonna be probably a 4-mile radius from that tower that you're gonna get good speeds.
Will there be another tower at these elementary schools?
We planned on.
Potentially
doing that as well. Those fiber routes go almost all the way to both, the animal preserve, what are the Bocc Meeting?
Or Sevilleta?
All the way almost to the edge of that. So not many people live in that, so. But we will erect towers where we can reach maybe people that maybe live across the river, because there's a few across there.
I'm glad to see it coming.
One more question, is there any plans like Corallo going out there?
Yeah, so that's the other update I wanted to give you. So Alamo, Magdalena, everything on the other side of the mountain from here, that's part of our original telephone exchange. And we've actually just recently, working with the FCC, accepted some funding that the FCC is making available, and through that we've dedicated that we're going to upgrade everybody in our original telephone area to at least 100 megs internet speed. So that includes Alamo, that includes the stuff we're already doing in Magdalena. Some of that will be fiber, some of that will be fixed wireless. I actually just reached out to Virgil Sandoval, the chapter president in Alamo. We had another project we were going to do there with them with some ARPA funding that wasn't able to come to fruition. But it looks like we're going to be able to do that through our own internal funding and push that forward. So that's actually on our budget for 2024 to get that project kicked off. So I'll be dialing into the chapter meeting on Monday, I believe it is, to hopefully discuss that a little bit more.
Good.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Did you say 100 megs?
Yeah, minimum of 100 megs.
I don't know what that means. So it's fast. I mean, like several devices at once streaming or something?
Current DSL, they'll give you 25/3, which is 25 down and 3 megs up. So we with 100, that's at least 100 down, 20 megs. So that's standard.
It's fast.
Say it's probably somewhere between 4 and 10 times faster than what you're getting with CenturyLink DSL here in town. If you're on that, because that's probably between 10 megs and 25 megs for the most part. So.
Of course, the fiber delivery is gonna be a lot more.
Yeah, fiber, I mean, in a perfect world, we'd love to get fiber to everywhere. But it is more expensive to do. It's the reason why we go through things like this USDA grant and stuff like that when we're doing those larger scale projects. The fixed wireless, so last year we did the fixed wireless project in Magdalena, and we're doing speed packages of 200 over 20 and 100 over 20.
And the fiber is gonna be able to hook onto one of your red lines and travel another couple miles or something.
Yeah. So this is the 30,000 foot view as far as those red lines are. Wayne mentioned the drop. So the drop is that connection from our route fiber, our main distribution fiber to the home. So it's like,
will the homeowner have to pay for that line?
That can be included in our project. So that'll be funded through this project, not by the homeowner.
Just gotta provide an easement, they want it, that's all.
Good deal.
And that'll be gig capable. So that's
Actually, that's 10 gig capable.
Yeah, it'll actually be 10 gig if they ever want it.
What if you have to go through other lands to get to a customer?
We'll have to go through the process of getting easements and stuff like that. Part of this project that we did is we tried to go around in BLM areas, because BLM is extremely difficult to get permitting easements from.
So could you go down like right away of a county road?
That's what we tried to stick with, yeah.
And then a state road, is that no problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The school fiber made all those permits, because that was 2 years of permitting.
Yeah.
So we made all those with that main route from Socorro all the way up to Midway and all the way down to San Antonio. So these routes are fed off of that fiber. So this one here, we avoid all BLM. Of course, there might be county, personal or state roads, easements involved.
Yeah, county or DOT.
But there should be a lot less permitting involved without BLM involved, so.
And to cross a state road is not gonna be a problem?
Nope, we do it all the time.
Sounds good.
I shouldn't say that it's not a problem at all, but it's a lot easier than some of the other ones.
Oh, I'm sure the feds are.
What do you need from us, gentlemen? Just
At this time, nothing. We just wanted to let you guys know exactly what we're doing. We appreciate the relationship we have with you guys, and we want to be, completely open and upfront and, continue that relationship.
thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go get those meds.
Well, I don't know.
What's it, man?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You were calling?
Okay, we go to 12A, consideration of ordinance 2023-02, codifying the New Mexico Enabling Act. You guys agree, I need a motion to approve it.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins. Second. Second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion?
Like until we don't codify it, we don't become part of the state, is that? I'm sorry? If we don't codify this, will we throw us out of being part of New Mexico?
Then let's do that for sure.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It is approved. Item B, consideration of State of New Mexico subrecipient agreement for the Regional Recreation Center's Quality of Life 23-ZX5053-48 for the amount of $123,302.
Thank you, Chairman Martinez. Commissioners, in your packet is the agreement, which would award us $123,302, and that's towards quality of life program that we have going on in Escondido. So I have a due recommend.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins to approve.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is approved. Item C, consideration of resolution 2023-81, authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval for the New Mexico Finance Authority. This is a mark. Go ahead.
Chairman, Commissioners, good evening.
Good evening.
And that resolution is for us to continue with the application for the purpose of the buying of the new facility, the FMO that we talked about in the past. This is the second resolution. The first one we came to you with a while back was when we were looking at building. So this one is a total different one. It's for purchasing purposes. We've already started everything going. We've got the appraisal on board. I should have the appraisal at the end of this week for the property. So I am asking that you approve this. Also, I believe, Mr. Hawks, is there a letter attached on the backside of that for excise money for Chairman Martinez to sign so we can use? I believe, that's what I was told by Sammy, Finance Director.
Yeah, there is, I believe there is.
Yeah,
Okay.
page 6 of 6.
Just to get the commission's approval to use excise to help with the payment or to help with the down.
So moved.
So you're gonna use excise for a down payment and then fire fund?
No fire funds.
No fire fund?
No. No, we're just going, no, we're not using any fire funds. Excise will be paying for it, but we're using extra excise to meet what we need.
Oh.
Okay, and
So
it's not
everything's
going,
out of excise tax.
yeah, and it's not
Upfront
depleting it.
payment.
Yeah, and it will not deplete it, Commissioner.
So the financial assistance that it talks about on the application is just cheaper interest?
Yes. So we can apply for cheaper interest to get the loan.
There's the recommendation from our manager, Mark.
Yeah.
So need motion by Commissioner Secretary to approve.
No second.
Second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
If it's paid with excise.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
I need to put other.
Any opposed? It is approved.
Commissioners, thank you very much.
You guys have a question?
Oh, yes.
So if you're using excise tax, does that give the county authority to put other offices over there? As, you know, I want to move the manager's office, the road department, whatever.
I would have to have a discussion with the county manager on that because this is, the excise is ear tag for the county fire.
So no, maybe for rent.
Maybe for rent.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is consideration of MOU with PHS for emergency mental health evaluation, transporting, funding, assistance. Who has that one?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is actually a program that PHS came up with and actually shows that they're very good community partners with us. Basically, what it comes down to is if there's a mental health hold, which can be issued by a doctor or law enforcement officer or other medical professional, or there is another need to transport someone, it falls on the county sheriff to make those transports. And the county has to pay for the costs, and that is someone's coming out of the hospital or wherever it might be. Presbyterian has recognized that, certainly that well, first of all, they're very happy that our sheriff's deputies are always there when they're needed at the hospital. And they recognize that of our deputies, and they're very appreciative of that. That said, what they've agreed to and they proposed is they will reimburse the county for the mileage costs of emergency medical transports ordered by SGH physicians, psychologists, or qualified mental health professional. And it'll be at the IRS reimbursement rate. Again, they're not required to do this, but they really stepped up and they're trying to help because those costs are getting very, very, very expensive for our department. So I recommend approval.
Okay.
And thank Veronica for coming up with the idea.
You heard the recommendation of our attorney, Mike?
So is this a medical transport or is it a sheriff's transport?
This is for an emergency mental health transport. That's right. So just for if somebody is being placed in a hold for, that they're a danger to themselves or others.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez. Second by Commissioner Aguilar. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is approved. Item E, discussion and direction to staff regarding the LPB monthly premium rate increase effective 1st of January 2024. Mike? Oh, sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. I have a handout for you, so let me get that to you first.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we received notice from the state not too long ago that our insurance premium rates are going to increase 10% starting January 2024. You can see on page 2 of the documents related to this agenda item, the rates that it's going to change to. Me and the finance director worked and we determined that with our current staffing and the new rates, the potential financial liability for the remainder of the fiscal year is about $107,106.80. This figure represents the total increase expected from January 1st through June 30th. If the commission chooses to completely absorb the 10% increase, this will be the adjustment required to accommodate the action. If the commission chooses to absorb 5% of the 10% increase, the liability to the county drops to $53,553.40. And the employees pick up the other $53,553.40. I've provided you with a handout that shows where the county and employee liability align with each option the commission has regarding this rate increase. If you would like to reference those to aid in your decision, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Commissioners?
What's the average cost to an employee right now? Just dollar amount, I don't care what percent.
Well, that depends on what, coverage they have. So $40 for health insurance is on average for a single employee. The dental insurance is just about $6 for an employee and $2 for eye coverage.
In the family?
Family runs about 140 roughly. It might be on these sheets, but so yeah, just depending on what, the commission decides they want to pick up.
So this would be for 6 months, right?
Yeah, this is, for January through July, through June.
So the 10% is just for 6 months, and then in 6 months, they could say, well, we're gonna go up 10%, right? It's just for a year, it's not.
Right.
Can't hold them to more than a 6-month contract? No? I'm just, it's going everywhere like that, so. So do we have the money, Mike, to pay it off, or?
So, go ahead. Thank you, Commission. So if you just do an average, and of course, coverage depends on single, married, family, all that stuff. But if you just did an average, if you were going straight across the board, it's an increase to the employee of $947.84, so $948. So let me just do something real quick. So that's $73 a paycheck extra they're gonna have to pay on average. So it's up to the commission on what percentage you would, if you'd want to pick up all of it, or anywhere in between 0 to 10%. And we have the numbers there, what it means, what our liability would be comparative to the employee's liability. If we picked up,
Split it.
I can say that if we might want to pick it up since we're in this fiscal year. Because on this fiscal year in June 30th, it makes it mathematically easier to do, just in accounting and everything. So I would suggest picking it up and then seeing what it's going to go to. Hopefully they send us something by April or May, so we have a heads up, so we can start doing calculations. But that would be my recommendation, because it's
I make a motion that we follow Manager Hawk's recommendation.
So we'll,
Second.
go ahead.
Mike, hypothetically, you were saying 900, how much was it?
48.
950?
Yeah.
How's that for the week? Tell me.
That's just an average. That's like if everybody had to pay that, but it's like some people are single, some have family. So you do 948 divided by 13, because there's 13 pay periods in January through June. So that's what, $97 or $79?
Yeah, I understood. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you heard the recommendation from our manager, Commissioner Duggins made a motion to absorb the 10% correctly? Pay it off? Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gonzalez. Any further discussion before I ask for the vote? Hearing none?
Absorb it to the end of the fiscal year, right? Yeah.
107, 106.80.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Okay, the next item is consider resolution 2023-82, one-time addition to employee payroll. Mike.
Thank you, Chairman Martinez, Commission, which is a tradition of this very generous commission. Usually about this time of the year, we make a one-time pay adjustment, especially to our employees who are recognized not only for the good work they do, but also for the compensation. And I understand that everybody deserves different amounts of compensation. Socorro County, only through this commission's efforts, have been able to move up in personnel pay. We're still, not where I don't think any of us would like all of our employees to be. So based upon that, I can tell you that if we did, you want the different scenarios? I have 4 different scenarios.
Yes.
Do you have them? No. So one scenario is if we pay probation, I think Commissioner Chairman Martinez asked for this probation, $250 and then $1,000 for everybody over 10 years. 10 years or over, that would cost $56,000. I kinda, that differentiates employees and sometimes it causes dissension, even though some people still are probation. Some can be on probation for quite some time. If everybody would get 500, that would be 53,500. If everybody would get 750, it would be 80,250. If everybody would get 1,000, it would be 107,000.
Mike, on the one where you said anybody over 10 years gets 1,000 and the probationary get 250, what are the ones under?
Yeah, that's the reason I don't like that concept, because then it gets very convoluted when you start going, well, I've been here 5 years and I get with a probationary person.
Right.
And I've been here 8 years.
Oh, so that's it, there's no in between.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so that's why I say that.
That's why I suppose.
I understand the philosophy, but it's very convoluted and then very hard for us to figure all that out. So I would like permission, if we're gonna do this, just do it straight across the board.
Yeah.
And, if I was leaning towards being fiscally responsible as well as identifying employees, I would suggest the 750.
For everyone?
For everyone.
What was that dollar amount?
750.
No, the total,
80,000.
80, and the other one was 56 at 500. Is that right, I remember right?
Yeah.
500 was
500 is 53,500.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I just wanna, I don't know how it'll go, but I do wanna remind this commission, we're in the poorest county in the poorest state. And we have a lot of needs. We have given very generously big raises. Some got more. We brought them up to where some of our people are making more than the state average in the same position. And that's just all I want to say is remember the needs of the people. They're everywhere. I mean, it's a disaster here. We've been in reverse for years. And when government is living higher than the people, I got a problem with that.
I did want to clarify, thank you, Chairman, if I may, that this is for full-time employees. What the figures were based on, pretty sure. If it's part-time, then we'd have to go in there and do percentage. Prorated. But I'm pretty sure the numbers I have are just full-time.
Full-time, permanent, non-probationary, or are we considering that?
Well, we wouldn't distinguish if we would just go across the board. We would distinguish.
And the elected officials would not get anything. Sorry.
But their deputies would, is that right?
Deputies were paid.
If I may, Chair Martinez, I'm looking at the resolution.
It's just a draft, but don't worry.
Okay. Because on the draft, it does say elected officials, their chief deputies are excluded from this compensation.
We'll change that just to exclude you, don't worry.
Thank you.
Any more questions, commissioners? You've heard the recommendation of the manager.
I have a question. In terms of individuals on probation, how many do we have roughly?
I would get the May, probably at least the 5th. Maybe even more because we have several at the detention center now that I mentioned it. And then we just have a bunch of new ones at the road department.
And the detention center.
Yeah.
I guess, how many are extended probation employees, I guess is my question. I mean,
Well, extended probation employees, that comes around during the evaluation time.
Yeah.
So,
for the most part, they're cutting the mustard, right?
yeah, just trying to get that. If you start going into that, then you're gonna,
No.
how many people got a written warrant?
No. You get that? I used to be and I got warnings in my every day, so. You know, my grandkids, I have a saying, every day's Christmas, so. Every day's Christmas, and I know this is not politically correct to say that we're doing this because it's Christmas. But that being said, and with what we just did with the insurance and that type of thing and taking care of employees, I think the $500 is, for everybody straight across, is fiscally responsible with knowing that the insurance is gonna go up in 6 months, so we have to address that, and it is that time of year, so that's my recommendation, 500 for everybody.
Any comments from the other commissioners?
I'll support the 500. But I wouldn't do the rest.
I'll explain my written thing that I sent to the manager. I think he requested for the commissioners that were here the last time you sent it.
Yeah.
And what I sent was, like the probationary employees that have less than a year, it was a certain amount lower. And then people that had 5 years, a little bit, the ones that have 10 years, a little bit more. And the higher you went up, the more you would get. And the reason I thought that was because of the seniority and stuff that employees are here. I know right now the DOT just implemented a salary longevity. An employee for the DOT that has worked 40 years is gonna get $3,000 at the end of the year. And they go down so much. The less years you have, the less money you got. And also it's tied in to your employee evaluation. I know we have a lot of good employees, and that's where the supervisors come in and say, I know this is just a bonus, but I mean, it should be tied into some kind of evaluation from their supervisor saying, this is a good employee. One employee sent me an email stating that the reasons, and that's good that they did that. Because I don't know the employees, the only one that knows them is the supervisor that is supervising. But since this is a Christmas bonus, and this will be for probationary employees, everyone, correct?
Yeah, straight across.
The motion from Commissioner, go ahead, Mike, go ahead.
That's correct. When we had discussed your methodology, it started getting really
messy, no?
Clustery. I can tell you that we have 19 employees with 10 plus years. So the rest fall in between there, below.
Okay.
And we have a motion on the table, right? For 500 straight across all employees. Is that not right?
I think so. I think that's what I meant. I made a motion. That would be my recommendation.
I'll second that one, but I'm not about the other.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Gonzalez to give each employee 500 regardless of probationary, just if they're employed by the county, 500.
And that, part-time employees will be prorated according to their hours.
Yes.
Full-time permanent probation.
probationary employees, part-time.
For a total of how much money, Mike?
53?
53,500.
Okay.
Is that an estimate or exact?
That's as close as we can get. That's pretty exact.
Okay. Second by Commissioner Duggins to approve the 500 plus the ones that are part-time. It'll be prorated according to time. Any further discussion before I ask for the vote?
So let me make that clear. So that's coming out of his portion, right?
I spent mine already. Mine's
I
not
was just kidding.
I know.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Thank you, Commission. Next item is approved vendors checks. Who wants to handle that?
I will go ahead and make the motion. Can you hear me? It's Corey?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, I'm sorry. I will make a motion to combine 13A and 13B in terms of approving vendor checks and payroll. Vendor checks in the amount of $276,532.96. Payroll in the amount of
I was chatting with Costa Rica the other day.
I'm sorry. Let me, Mike, do you have a total for the payroll, I mean, not payroll, vendor checks?
Let me see. If I have some. You have something different?
If you want some outside the school.
Vendor checks, $130,188.35. 130,188.
The one, this one. Several items that are more than that.
Hold on, let me scroll down some more.
There you go. All of that you're going scrolling down, that says payroll.
That's payroll.
Yeah.
You asked for a vendor, right?
Yeah, but see, that's all the items, line items, but there's no total on the bottom. I guess I'm just lazy to add them.
Add it? I don't know why now it's happening.
She hungry?
Peter?
No, not before I came. What's with you? You don't understand where the grocery. I know.
I'm excited. I read this one. Nope.
Jennifer, do you write all these out?
Do I?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you know I'm Glenn single in.
Oh, no, I don't like them. They're always done like that.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Some of them are right, some are wrong. What was that?
The department had sent me them that way.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Is it one end or two ends?
I'm one.
I'll let them know, that way they can change it. Yeah, no, I don't do that. The one I do is correct. When I have on my bed.
Okay,
Okay, let me
I
go ahead.
apologize for the delay.
Okay. All right, let me present my first one and let me give you a new motion. I'm gonna combine 13A, 13B for the vendor checks in the amount of $618,625.41 and payroll in the amount of $207,500.96.
Motion by Commissioner Secretarial to approve. Second? Second by Commissioner Alexander. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Both are approved. Okay, there's no executive section, correct? Okay, our next commission meeting will be January 9th, 2024 at 5 p.m.